Hi guys, I'm in Charisma Bookshop and I've just lost Whamageddon. I don't even think we're in December yet. We're not in December yet. I came in to do Christmas shopping and usually I never lose Whamageddon because I never hear Christmas carols, and I've just walked in, it's the first thing playing. So I'm just in here doing a bit of Christmas shopping. Children's books and toys at the moment. It's a really good place to come. It's called Charisma. It's a bookshop in Kigali Heights. I love these ones. You see, you get to follow the music. Here it tells you which notes to play, and you hit the correct numbers. I think that's lovely.
Merry Christmas.
I'm in the kitchen today and I'm feeling festive. I don't usually get very Christmassy, but I'm kind of feeling it at the moment. And the other day I was driving around and I went to visit my friend Jocelyne, who runs Bugesera Lodge. And she is the most incredible cook. She does a full course French spread, so if you want to go out there and try her food, it is lovely. And whilst we were talking, we were sort of eating peanuts, and she brought out this little courgette appetizer, or zucchini for the Americans. And I asked for the recipe and she sent me a photograph and it was in French. So I uploaded it to ChatGPT and I asked it to translate it. So I have an English copy here, and I thought I'd just throw on some Christmas music and dance around the kitchen and have a go at making this. Okay, so it says 3 kilograms of courgette. The problem that we have here is in Rwanda, if you order a courgette, you're going to get a marrow. The concept of growing something smaller for it to taste better sort of loses out to the idea of growing something bigger. Because there's more of it. So if you don't know, a courgette or a zucchini is a baby marrow, so it's usually about half the size and width of this, and we grow them that way because they taste good. So if you can get a courgette, that's what you really want. But usually, I mean, these were advertised as courgettes, but they're clearly marrows. So that's what we're going to use, and we're going to get rid of the tough outer skin and the big seeds and try and get some of the sort of softer bits of it cut up. And then she said 3 onions, but I've got very small onions. In Rwanda, red onions are usually cheaper. They're the standard, whereas it's usually the opposite way around in the UK. So red onions are usually a little bit sweeter. And then she said 1 red bell pepper, which I haven't included. I'm not a massive fan of bell pepper. I don't mind them, you know, if they're in a Mediterranean dish or something, I really don't mind them, but I'm not a huge fan. Same with tomatoes, actually. I've been cutting onions and listening to Tim Minchin's White Wine in the Sun. So I'm not too sure which one of those two things is causing this, but I've got leaky eyes. I'm crying over my appetizer. Right, so now I need to mix it all together in a bowl with some salt and put it in the fridge for 24 hours. So see you tomorrow. I'm sorry, this is so cute. 1 cat, 2 cats, 3 cats. It's not often that you see them all together. Hey guys, I'm just here waiting for my friend Lulu to come and pick me up because we are off to the embassy do this evening. Once a year we get invited to the British Embassy to celebrate Christmas. And there's lots of free booze, so we always go. It used to be twice a year. We used to get invited for Christmas and also the Queen's birthday. But now that we don't have a Queen, like apparently the King's birthday this year was a diplomatic event, so we weren't invited. But we still get to go for Christmas, and it's about the only time of the year that I ever see a group of British people. So I don't generally see them at any other time of the year, so it's going to be good. Yeah, so my friend Lulu's coming, and maybe my friend Jo will be there, I'm not too sure. Sorry about the background noise, my neighbours are building something and have been for days. So yeah, I'm going to go and have some gin. That seems like the only sensible way forward. Woo! I've just got home. It was such a lovely night. Sparkly lights, fairy lights, and plenty of free gin. And just a really, really nice night. You know, you meet people that you haven't seen in a really long time. There was a lady there, Joanna, who I met on the Hash when Harrison Rob was here, and that was nice to catch up and just have some really nice conversations and Merry Christmas. And yeah, it was really, really good fun. It's warm tonight though, so I'm gonna have a last cheeky beer and head off to bed. But you know, it never feels like Christmas here. Like everybody says, you know, Christmas feels like a very seasonal holiday, and because we don't really have the hot and cold here, it doesn't really feel like the seasons changed that much. So I don't know, it's not so Christmassy, but it was a really good night, a great chance to catch up, and yeah, let the festivities begin. Oh my goodness, I am such a dipshit. I've been out all day and I just got back and I completely forgot about the recipe. So I probably should have done this a couple of hours ago. But yeah, there's a day 2 now. There's a day 2 preparation list to go through, and it's a really long one. So I need to do that now. I'm such an idiot. Right, step 1, rinse the mixture and drain it. Oh my goodness, look, the salt has caused all of the water to come out of the vegetables. Oh, yeah, let's go and rinse off the salt and drain it. Oh, it's so tempting to put it in the washing machine. Just shove it on rinse. See, we've even got a rinse setting here. Surely it should be able to do vegetables. But I've got this, which is the steamer half of my rice cooker. So I'm just going to use that. It smells so strongly of onions. It's not written in the recipe, but you need to take 2 seconds out to cuddle the cats. It's for good luck, isn't it? It makes for a better tasting dish. A little bit of purpleness. Makes for a better dish. Yeah. Okay, so the veggies have been rinsed and the salt washed off. And now it gets complicated. Now we have to make a syrup using white vinegar, water, sugar, 5 teaspoons of curry powder, 3 teaspoons of peppercorns, and 3 teaspoons of mustard seeds. And I popped down to Patel's the other day and I've got all of these now. So we'll put this together. So I grew up using pounds and ounces or grams. But since living here, I've started using American measurements and doing things in cups because I don't have a set of scales and it's just really, really convenient. Please excuse my burnt countertop. But that's all of the ingredients in the pot. Let's start it up. Okay, we're going to give it a little bit of a stir, and the recipe just says cook the syrup for a few minutes. I appreciate recipes like that. I'm not a very precise person, so I like it when it's open to interpretation. But I think we just keep going until it turns into a simple syrup. Plenty of curry powder in there.
Do you like my curry powder? It's a really, really nice one, this. It comes in a beautiful tin. I think it's from Kenya or Tanzania. That's the ingredients on the side. Oh yeah, Kenya, there we go. Very mild but flavourful. Okay, I've only done this for a very short time because I don't want it to boil and turn into caramel. I've just done it until I felt like all of the sugar has melted and incorporated. So I need to be very, very careful when I do this because boiling hot sugar is unbelievably dangerous. Boiling hot water is unbelievably dangerous, but sugar's even worse because it sticks to your skin. So let's do this very carefully. I feel like I've got more liquid here than I probably need. So this is going to cool down, and then I'm going to cover it and put it back in the refrigerator overnight, and then we come back again tomorrow. It looks amazing. It's feeling very, very festive with the greens and the reds in there, or the green and the purple. Smells very, very strongly of the onions and something sweet. That would be the that would be the 3 cups of sugar. Just cover it up whilst it cools down.
So it's about 10 o'clock at night and I'm just about to hop on the bike with my camera, and we're going to go and see if we can find some Christmas lights. So it's always been a bit of a tradition to hop in the car with my friends Chantal and Sean and to drive around and to look at them, but they tend to go a lot earlier on in the evening, and there have been times where we've just been stuck in traffic really badly and not been able to sort of move. So I thought this year, as I've got my bike, I would actually just go out and have a look around. I don't do much nighttime driving because, you know, the roads out there are a little bit scary at the daytime, so at night time they're even worse. So I tend to stay off the roads at night if I can help it. But the other day, this video popped up on my feed by a guy called Ariga Richard, and I think he's got a bicycle, and he went out to film the lights, and there was nobody on the road. So I sent him a message. I was like, you know, like, what time did you go? Because like that looks perfect. And he came back and he said he went at 10:30. So it's about 10 o'clock now. I'm just gonna fit the camera on and let's go see what we can see. I've also lined up Christmas carols on my helmet, so we're gonna be listening to some Wham. Check all my lights are working. Oh, got a little light out here, never mind. All my lights are working, we're good to go. There are loads of palm trees, and it's traditional for them to be wrapped in lights. We're just coming up to KBC, Kigali Business Centre, opposite Kigali Heights. It all looks very pretty. I'm filming this on an Insta360x3, and I have to give a massive shout out to the channel The 360 Guy for giving me the best settings for filming Christmas lights. I did what he suggested and they've come out really well. In between pockets of light, you get the roads that haven't been lit. But then we resurface on the road into town and the RSSB building on the right, which is always well dressed at this time of year. Here's the central roundabout in town. Liquid Telecom. heading up into the centre of town by UTC. Now we're heading up this road because it's the road where all the posh hotels are. Here's the roundabout outside City Hall. It's also known as the Gorilla Roundabout because there's a statue of a gorilla on it. City Hall in the background. Wow, now that's a showstopper. I&M Bank. This one on the left is Marriott. It's one of Kigali's largest hotels. Doesn't look like they've really tried much. More effort needed. But Marriott also own 4 Points, and they've done a lot more with that. Well, that's pretty much everything up this way. I want to go back and take some photos of I&M Bank. It's really impressive. Guys, I once accused I&M Bank of looking like the Iron Bank from Game of Thrones, of being like really kind of imposing as a building. I take it all back. I'm sorry, I&M Bank. They have hands down won the award for Christmas lights this year. This little walkthrough is so cute. Yeah, there's nothing scary about the building right now. It's beautiful. Seriously, this is gorgeous. Okay, so I've just pulled up on my bike. I'm just outside Milcolleen, and you can go over onto the roundabout. So let's go and have a look. Oh, this is beautiful. Yeah, this is really nice. And it's really nice to see so many people here taking photographs and just enjoying it, you know? Festival of Light. So confession, I've never been on the central roundabout at Christmas. I've driven past it and I've looked at the lights, but I've never actually come over here. Actually, I don't think I've ever actually walked over here Christmas or any other time. It's quite nice actually. I should come in more often. But yeah, it's really nice. I'm liking this. I'm feeling Christmassy. So it's cool. All right, let's go see if the bike's still there. There she is. All right, that was really good fun. The last one that we're going to go to is just down the road on the way home. There's a roundabout near Cirque du Sportif, and it was always just called the Coca-Cola roundabout because, you know, until very, very recently, we didn't have all of this. This is very new, like the past few years. And so there was only one roundabout in town that had a Christmas tree and lights on it, and it was sponsored by Coca-Cola. So there was always this big Coca-Cola tree and lots of sort of adverts for Coca-Cola on it, and it was just called the Coca-Cola roundabout. So I don't think that they still do it. I haven't been there for a while, so we're going to head down there, but I noticed that the road might be a bit closed, so I don't know how easy it is to get there, but let's go have a look. The road was a little bit closed, so I ducked around the back of RSSB and through the back roads. It felt a bit eerie leaving behind all of the bright lights for the dark, but I soon resurfaced at the Coca-Cola roundabout. No sign of Coca-Cola anymore. Now there's a lovely agaseki basket and intori dancers. Unfortunately, my camera returned to default settings when I started again. You can see the difference having the right settings makes when you're trying to film at night. Without them, all of the Christmas lights just blow out into these big fuzzy colours. Then I decided to check out the sonotubes roundabout. Not as impressive as the others, but still quite pretty. Then I headed up to the Shaylando roundabout, which had nothing on it at all. But Zaria Court and Shaylando were all lit up. Then home via the Convention Centre roundabout and Kigali Heights. And that's about all the roundabouts I could think of. Well, I'm home safe and sound. Yeah, it's pretty quiet out there, but I have to say, actually, I was surprised. There is some traffic, which for this time of night I find kind of interesting. But yeah, it was really easy to drive around and just beautiful. I mean, hands down, I&M Bank win this year's award. I mean, usually RSSB get it because they do quite a spectacular display as well, but I feel like I&M really put the effort in this year. It felt like there wasn't as many as usual, so I think I said this last year as well, because usually when you drive down my road, like the Embassy Row, there's always lights around all of the palm trees, and there aren't any at the moment. But I said this last year, and then about a week before Christmas, so in a few days' time, they suddenly all went up. And I think maybe it's to conserve electricity and the environment, which that's a good thing, you know, we can wait. But all of the main roundabouts have got something on them. And it's been interesting over the years to see the progression, because like I say, this is pretty new. I'd say like, what, the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years maybe. But Christmas lights never used to be a big thing, but now they really are becoming it. And I think it's just nice, you know, when you go onto the central roundabout and you just see everybody there taking selfies, and it just makes people feel happy. And even seeing the moto drivers working at night time, and they seem to be taking it slow and looking at the lights, and I think it cheers them up as well. So yeah, I really like it. Just finishing up the night with a little cup of hot chocolate. It's 11:30, but still good. Hi guys, welcome back to the final instalment of Christmas pickle making. I really messed up after I left the vegetables to cool. I forgot to put them in the fridge, so they spent the night cooling on the counter. For here, it was quite cold that night anyway. So you know, in the morning I gave it a sniff. I tend to trust my nose. If it smells okay, you know, I'm okay with it, and it smelt okay. So then I put it in the fridge, and I went out the next day and just didn't finish it. So I should have finished this 2 days ago, but I'm going to do the final step now, which is to heat it up. So you heat it all up, and then you put it into jars. So let's do that. So it's just come out of the fridge and it's looking fabulous. All right, let's get that bubbling. This part is proving quite tricky. It's boiling hot sugar water and I don't want to burn myself, but I think I'm getting there. I was a bit worried that the jars might crack, but I've already heated them up with boiling hot water to sterilise them, so they're actually doing fine. I am spilling it on the table. They look fabulous. Okay, they've stopped steaming, and the recipe said something quite intriguing. It said to put the lids on and to turn them upside down with the lids on. And I thought that was quite an interesting idea. I guess it helps to sterilise it with the heat and to prevent air coming in. But they are very hot, and I'm a bit worried about the steam, so I might just leave them a minute longer to cool down before attempting that. Let the steam out a little bit. Okay, so I've turned them all upside down. I'm not entirely sure why. Hi guys, so I'm at the piano today because this is my Christmas tradition. My Christmas tradition every year is to attempt to learn Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues and fail. And the reason that I fail is because I always leave it until about 5 days before Christmas before I start to try and learn it. And because it's a Christmas song, once we've passed Christmas, I feel too self-conscious to practice it because I feel like everybody can hear me playing a Christmas carol and thinking, like, it's June. So about 5 days before Christmas, I start to practice. There's a fantastic tutorial online. I'll leave it. It's really good. So, you know, I just about get the hang of it. And then it's Christmas, and then I don't practice it again for a whole year. And by the time that Christmas comes around the second time, I've completely forgotten how to play it. So every year, about 5 days before Christmas, I learn to play Fairy Tale of New York, and then poof, it's gone. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. So it's such an easy song to play on a tin whistle. I can't remember the end of it, but it's something like that. And I always point this out, but it sounds so much like the Broad Majestic Shannon, which is another Pogues song. But instead of going up, you go down. So for Fairy Tale, you're going up. But for Broad Majestic Shannon, you're going down. It's fun. But yeah, I mean, it's such an easy song to play on the tin whistle. No disrespect to Spider Stacy, and he plays it better than I do. That was just like simplified. But when it comes to the piano, there's a whole lot more going on there.
And then it gets a bit tricky. It's like a tongue twister for the fingers. So this is my favourite verse, and I am shockingly bad. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, so I can't sing and play at the same time. So I'm just kind of trying to figure it out, because I love this bit, but I'm just not very good at doing singing and playing. I can kind of focus on one thing or the other. One Christmas, we're going to sit down, I'm going to play it perfectly. This isn't that Christmas. Gonna have to play this really slowly. They got cows, they got smiles, they got rivers of gold. When the wind goes right through, here's a place for thee. Oh, when you first took my hand on the Christmas Eve. Fuck it. Deep breath, deep breath. They got clouds, they got stars, they got rivers of gold. The wind goes right through, here's a place for thee. Oh, when you first took my hand on that cold Christmas. First took my hand on that cold Christmas Eve. You promised me Broadway was waiting for me. Maybe, I don't know. Wow, this is, Let's try it without singing. Without singing is better. No, that's not good. Shall we try G instead of an A? G instead of an A? Everybody in favour of that? I think G instead of an A. No. What? Is it a G or is it an A? I need to check. He's saying it's a B. He's right. It is. It's a B. That's what I've been missing all my life. I think I need sherry. I think sherry would help. B. That sounds so much better. You got clouds, you got stars, you got rivers of gold. But the wind goes right through, here's a place for thee. Oh, when you first took my hand on that cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. Yeah, I really need to practice. Wow, I love it though. It's so much fun. And you know, it looks complicated to begin with, but it's not too bad. But I can't do the the chorus part because I can, but I'm not a forte kind of girl, you know? The kind of stuff that I usually play is very kind of floaty gothic, melodic kind of slow stuff. And so to kind of do like the forte, I love to hear other people do it, but I don't know, I feel very self-conscious about it, which is weird because I'm brash and loud in real life, so I don't know why when it comes to music
I don't like to smack the piano so hard. I don't know what it is. But I will learn it. I will learn for next year. We'll be back here next year to do the same thing again. So whatever your Christmas traditions are, whether it's sort of pickles or torturing your neighbours with your piano playing, keep it up, and I hope you're having a wonderful Yuletide and festive season. Mwah.
So putting them upside down means that it vacuum seals the jar and preserves them for longer. This is the second jar I've opened. I'm absolutely addicted. They are amazing. Make these.